Chapter 5. Market Research and Competitor Analysis. In other words, knowing the battlefield. We have identified our target audience. Now it's time to get to know the battlefield. That is, our competitors. 90% of newcomers to the market skip this step. They try to fight with their eyes closed and get knocked down with the first punch. We won't make this mistake. By analyzing our competitors, we will get 3 steps ahead of them before the game even begins. The questions we need to answer are simple. Who is doing what? What are they selling? For how much? And how? We will do this like detectives. We will use all the tools at our disposal. Google, social media, artificial intelligence, and user reviews. But most importantly, we will become the competitor's potential customer. So what does this mean? We will call them. We will call directly and gather information about their services. What are their processes like? How long does it take them to respond? How professional are they? If they have a website, we will visit it. We will fill out their forms and wait. What kind of email will we receive? Will it be automatic or personal? If necessary, we will make a purchase. If possible, we will buy their cheapest service or product and experience the entire customer journey from A to Z. We will collect every piece of information, every detail, and store it in an intelligence pool. This pool will be our roadmap, because by analyzing our competitors, we will actually be drawing our own strategy. So what will we gain at the end of this espionage? First, strengths and weaknesses. We will see where the competitor is strong and where they are weak. Maybe their services are excellent, but their website is terrible. Maybe their ads are great, but their customer service is slow. Every point where they are weak is a point of attack for us. Second, gap analysis. We will identify the gaps in the market, in other words, the opportunities that no one has touched. Maybe everyone is serving the general market and no one is offering, for example, video production specifically for dentists in a niche area, or the exact opposite. While everyone is scattered across very niche areas, there is a lack of a strong general player that brings all services together under one roof. We are the ones who will fill that gap. Third, market standard. Competitors set the standards of the market. Knowing their prices, service packages, and promises will determine how we position our own offer. Either we offer something better for a lower price, or we promise much more for the same price. This is my personal tactic in this process. First, I search my keyword everywhere. For example, video editor. On Google, Instagram, YouTube, and eventually the algorithm becomes convinced that I'm interested in this topic, and before long it starts serving me the best competitors, ads, and content on a silver platter. Finally, I pose as a customer for my competitors, I call them, meet with them, and if necessary, I use their services to learn all the details. Remember, your competitors are your best teachers. We will learn from their mistakes. We will copy their successes and do even better. So, what will our game plan be? We won't get stuck in a single industry. We will serve a broad range. This will both help us improve and allow us to gain experience from different industries. In other words, we'll be able to bring together different disciplines. Our strategy is simple but extremely effective. We will turn the biggest problem in the market to our advantage. So, what is the problem? High prices and poor quality work. Here is our game plan. Step 1 is to enter the market. In other words, we'll collect references. Our first goal is not to make money, but to build a portfolio. That's why we'll focus on the group of young businesses. We will offer them a high-quality service that exceeds their expectations at a clear price slightly below the market rate. Yes, this will be a bit exhausting for us at first, but once we have 3 or 5 solid projects to show, we'll be ready to move on to the second group, that is the second segment. In step 2, we will increase our value. In other words, we will now move into profitability. With the references we've gathered, the group of growing businesses will start knocking on our door. We're no longer just talking empty words, because now we have proof. The work we've done speaks for itself. In this group, we will be the ones setting the price. We will have the say. Thanks to our quality work, we will add these clients to our portfolio as well. In step 3, we'll be aiming for the top. In other words, since we've worked with both startups and growing companies, we now have a strong portfolio that proves our work to corporate clients. This provides the trust needed for our ultimate target, corporate businesses. At this stage, we reach a position where we can demand the highest fees. This is the smartest way to rise from zero to the top of the market. First, you provide proof, then you set your price. We're now in the practical